go ahead and get started. We'll lie on our backs. Make sure that your yoga strap is handy. Again, I just linked the playlist. Hopefully, nice morning wake up playlist, nothing too crazy. So we'll come onto our backs. We'll let the left foot go on the mat right now. Right foot, we'll strap it up, pushing that foot into the strap. And today we'll start warming up the feet a little bit. So the strap is around the arch of the foot or the scarf or whatever you're using as a proxy for the strap. And you'll point your toes to the ceiling and then you'll flex your toes to your face. And just do that a couple of times, pointing and flexing. And then hold the flex. Use the elbows, the arms by bending the elbows wide. Pull the leg a little bit closer to your body. And if it only goes an inch or two, that's fine. And then exhale, back off a little bit. Let the leg come away from you. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, bend the elbows. Take the leg closer. Exhale, bring it away. 1 last time. Inhale, bring it closer. Exhale, take it away. And then go ahead and just put your left foot in the strap. We'll switch sides. We'll start with that footwork, flex and point and flex and point. And then you'll hold the flex. Bend the elbows wide, pull the leg towards the body. So feel how the stretch gets deeper, but it's still manageable. You're not going too far. And then back off. Again, bend the elbows, draw the leg closer, and take the leg away from the body 1 more time. Bring the leg closer. Take the leg farther away, and then we'll bring both legs into the strap for happy baby. And just take a moment to hang out here. This is yoga, one of the simplest inversions, but sometimes one of the best inversions. I doubt that we're all on our feet very much lately, but it's still a nice way to get circulation going. So we'll take 2 more breaths here. You're grounding through your back. You can muscle through your arms as much or as little as you want. You're pushing your heels towards the ceiling. And then we'll find a happy baby with a strap. Feet go wider than the body, knees bend, pull down on the straps, and just start to rock and roll side to side, maybe finding some little circles here. Awesome. And then we'll let go of that strap. Oops, sorry. Bring the legs together and whack yourself the strap. Arms out to a T, hips to the left, knees to the right. Just a really simple twist. If you want a little more, you can press the right hand down on the left thigh as you drop the left shoulder blade towards the mat. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. 1 more breath. See if you can feel the breath all the way down into the belly, into the ribs. And then come onto your back and same thing, other side. Really extending through the spine, feeling that sense of ribs going in one direction and hips going in the other. And then come on back to center, knees into the chest, and just start to rock and roll like we did in Happy Baby. That little self-massage, since we can't get massages right now, which is so sad. And then lift the head, tuck the chin in, and start to rock and roll forward and back. As always, you can do this as many times as you want. If it doesn't feel good, you do 1. If it does feel good, you come over. Hello, Shauna, good to see you. All right, we'll come into all fours, that tabletop position. Just coming into some really simple cat-cows. Make sure the tops of your feet are down. Your hands are pressing into the mat. Arms stay straight. Inhale, drop the belly, pull the heart through. And then exhale, tuck the chin and round through the back. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, cow. And exhale, cat. 1 more time. Just letting this feel really good through the spine, through the shoulders, through the neck, and through the hips. And then we'll come into a neutral tabletop. Little shoulder stretch. Right arm sweeps up. Before we thread the needle, roll that arm out. So take some big circles. And then go ahead and thread that needle coming all the way onto the head of the right shoulder, relaxing the cheek down. And today, we'll take that left hand forward, tenting on the fingertips, and use it almost like you're trying to lift your armpit up a little bit higher. Take a deep breath in. And then we won't do the balance today, but we'll extend that left leg back, though. So you have your left hand forward and your left heel back, and you're just really stretching those limbs apart. And then come on out, reground your left knee, reground your left hand, sweep that right arm up. And then coming back to tabletop, before we do that on the other side, Down dog, just pedaling out through the knees. And just a reminder here, I was working with someone the other day who was no one had ever really talked her through down dog, and she always thought that she needed to bring her hands and feet closer together, and it was feeling not so great for her shoulders, and I could tell. So we had her walk her hands forward and her feet back and kind of make that triangle shape a little bigger, and it started to feel a lot better for her. So if you're encountering that when you're at home doing your down dog, maybe just try to walk your hands a little more forward and your feet a little more back. Okay, we'll come out of that down dog, coming into tabletop, starting with the left arm reaching up to the ceiling. And again, some big circles. And this can be wild and crazy, or it can be controlled. And then we'll come into that thread of the needle, dropping it down, relaxing in. We'll take the right arm forward. Again, we're on the fingertips. We're trying to spin the armpit up. We're trying to lift it up. And then right toes come back. Right foot is flexed. We're reaching the right heel away from the right hand. Take a deep breath in. And then breath out, you come out of it. Keep the left arm up. And then we'll make our way to down dog again. This time, let's keep the legs quiet and just let the head gently shake yes, gently shake no. Head is relaxed, neck is long. And then just some baby bends in the elbows. Not trying to get you into that scapular push-up, but just a little buoyancy in the elbows. And then we'll start to walk the hands back to the feet. And eventually your heels will come on the ground. When you get all the way back, bend your knees, let your head and arms just hang. And so wherever they land, wherever they don't land, you're just really heavy here. We'll slowly roll ourselves up vertebrae by vertebrae. Keep the heaviness. And when you get all the way up, swim the arms out and towards your ceiling. And then exhale, bring your arms down. We'll tuck the chin and roll it down. Doing a little more warm up. Bend the knees, walk the hands out to plank. And just pausing here in plank. How far can your heels get away from your shoulders? Take a deep breath in. Breath out, pike your hips, down dog. Walk your hands to your feet, just like we did before. Again, when you get the weight into the heels, bend the knees, let everything hang. Heavy, heavy, heavy. Slowly roll yourself up. And however long it takes you to get to the top, keep it slow. Then you reach your arms all the way up. And then take your arms down, tuck your chin, walk it out. This is the last time we'll do this. Bend the knees, find your plank. And again, just nice and steady and plank. You all know how to do plank very well. So finding that sense of strength here in this simple shape. And then pike those hips up for down dog. And we'll stay here, deep breath in. And deep breath out. Okay, let's get into some of the work here. Inhale, right leg lift. First 30 seconds, exhale, we'll pull the knee in towards the chest and then lift the leg back up, okay? 30 seconds starts now. Three-legged dog to that bent knee, three-legged plank. You should feel this in, of course, your core, but also your shoulders and your arms and your legs. The left leg that's not moving is straight and strong. And the right leg that is moving is extending through the hip and flexing through the hip. We're over halfway there, and you're going at whatever pace works for you this morning. It doesn't have to be super duper fast. Last 3, 2, last 1. Step your right foot forward, lower your left knee down. Grab that yoga strap. Hey, Stephanie. Grab that yoga strap. Remember, you might want to fold it in half or in fourths. We're going to actually come, instead of into that deep lunge where we really stretch, we're going to come into more of a strength-based lunge. Right knee is over right ankle. Left hip is more or less under the left knee is more or less under the left hip, tongue twister. We're going to take the strap forward. Roll the shoulders back, but keep the arms straight. So there's tension in the arms. There's action in the back. Pull the belly to the spine, and for 30 seconds, we'll just press the arms up and the back knee up, and then take it down, okay? Little weight in the back knee. Here we go. Up and down. And this whole week, really been focusing a lot on core and balance, and this class will be no different. So this is a balance in and of itself. Even though we have 2 feet on the ground, we have to really activate the muscles in the legs and the core to not topple over. And if this feels really wobbly, it is early in the morning, take it slow. Take it super slow. Last 3, 2, stay up. Bring the strap to the chest and reach forward. So your elbows kind of wing out like chicken wings. Keep leaning forward, and we'll take warrior 3, but bringing the strap down, pushing that left leg up. Really squeeze through the left butt cheek, and we stay for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come back to lunge. Turn towards your left foot. So you're on the long side of the mat. Find your goddess squat. The name we call it in yoga, plie squat and barre. You can call it either one since this class is both. We'll keep the arms up. Again, pull the shoulders down and just start to pulse the hips. We have 30 seconds of these little pulses. So really coming into that world of barre now, focused on the legs and on turning out those legs in the hip sockets. You want to really protect your knees. So if your toes are really forward of your knees right now, turn those feet in, even more turn those knees in. Keep lifting up through the spine, but dropping through the hips. Hopefully you're feeling this in your legs. I am. Last 3, 2, 1. Bring that strap forward and just hold it here. We have 30 seconds of heel raises, up and down. So really thinking about the back of the legs, strong here. The calves, strong. It doesn't matter how high your heels are coming off the ground. You're just finding some kind of lift, some kind of lift. We'll go into a full squat where we straighten the legs and lift the arms, and then where we bend the knees. Let's go ahead and find that up and down. If you're not on a second or third floor and you feel okay jumping, feel free to jump. If you are not feeling like jumping, you stay grounded. Maybe you add the heel raise, arms and legs working, getting that heart rate up a little bit. We're going to repeat everything on the left side in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, turn towards your left leg. We're going to start in that low lunge again. Back toes are tucked. Strap is straight forward. Again, we're more or less vertical in the back leg and 90 degrees as well in the front leg. Low lunge to high lunge. Keep your arms straight. Here we go. And you might find, this is my challenged side, you might find as well that one side of your body feels a lot stabler than the other. So just being aware of that when you get into your less stable side, that maybe you need to adjust a little bit, and that's okay. You're breathing in and out. You have 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. Bring the strap into your chest. Wing your arms out. Tip forward. Find your warrior 3. Hands come down. Really, again, push through that lifted heel. Squeeze that lifted butt cheek. And we have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Come on back down, high lunge. Lift the arms up, and then turn yourself again towards that plie squat. This time we'll focus more on the waist. Arms are up. We're trying to keep the arms equidistant from the head. So if you start to bend to one side and your elbows bend or one arm creeps really wide, try to just keep this same distance in the body, and all we're doing is tipping the waist to one side and the other. Doesn't matter which side you start with. 30 seconds on the clock begins now. We're really trying to keep the sides of the waist long, the arms long, the neck long. So however far you go down is however far you go down. Your feet are your anchors, of course. Your legs are also helping you to anchor. You can use that inhale breath to dip down and that exhale breath to lift up, building strength in those obliques. We'll be doing quite a lot of side body work today as part of our core work. You're there in 3, 2, 1. Okay, come back to center. Bring your arms down, lift your heels up, and then squeeze your booty and straighten your legs. We're going to find as much of a balance as we can here, and we'll inhale to lift the arms up and exhale to bring it down. You have 10. The key to this is really strong booty and strong belly. And of course, if you lose your balance, drop your heels, recalibrate, and come back up and down. Again, your arms are straight. And if you have tight shoulders or you had an injury in a shoulder, maybe you don't go all the way overhead, and that's okay. We have 3, 2, 1. Come back to your plie squat. Come back to sitting really low, reaching the arms forward, and then we'll twist to one side, back to center, twist to the other side. The same principle applies as the side bend. You're not letting your arms move at all. They're stuck, and you're just twisting from the waist. Okay, let's settle in, get cozy in that plie squat. Arms forward 30 seconds. Again, you start with either direction. What's not twisting are, so again, that lower body is the steady part of this movement, only movement from the waist up. And it might feel really nice to keep your eyes turning, your head turning with your strap and your waist. Maybe you can sit lower in your plie squat. I promise we're going to come out of this really soon. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, drop that strap, come on back up. Shake those legs out, grab a quick sip of water. For the next set of moves, we're going to start with that 3-legged dog into 3-legged plank on the left side, but we'll dive into different moves. So make sure your block is at front of the mat. If you don't have a yoga block, it's not a big deal. A water bottle works, a big book works, anything that's really stable, a big glass jug of something or plastic jug of something. And then also have your loop band ready. Okay, let's make our way into down dog. We'll just walk it there. Left leg lifts, 3-legged dog, and then that 30 seconds to pull it in and push it up. Here we go, inhale, exhale. You're trying to bring that left knee as high into the body as you can. So as far away from the floor as possible. Again, the other leg, the right leg in this case, is strong and sturdy. We're pushing down into the hands. We're lifting the shoulders away from the floor. We've got 3, 2, 1. Step forward. Drop your back knee. This time we will come into a low lunge as a stretch. Interlace the fingers on the left thigh. Push the hips down and forward. And then press the hands into that thigh and lift the chest and the belly away from that leg. Deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, from here, bring your hands to that object that's either the block or working as the block. Tuck your back toes, lift your back knee. Start to lean the body forward. So we're in a supported power lunge shape. We're coming from here into warrior 3. Power lunge into warrior 3. If you don't need that object, don't use it. Your front leg is bending in the lunge and straightening in the warrior 3. So a lot of booty work, but also using that core as well. So set yourself up. It's totally fine to use your block. And here we go. Lunge to warrior 3. And if you haven't tried this without the block, also, my other recommendation is to at least try and see what it feels like without the block. One big thing to watch out for is that this right leg isn't bending. It's staying straight the whole time. And that hip isn't opening out. You want to keep that hip bone square to the ground. You're pushing straight up. You're not turning out. Good news. We're going to meet in that warrior 3 now. Again, hands could be down or they could be up. Now, curl, bend the right knee, straighten, 30 seconds. If this is a lot of pressure in your left leg, put a little bend in that left knee. You're really squeezing that right heel towards your body, almost like there was a weight or a towel or something in the crook of that right knee. We're going to come into some core work in 3, 2, 1. 2 feet to the ground, sit on down. Take that loop band, and if you don't have a loop band, 1, let Allison know, and 2, don't worry about it today if you don't have one. If you do have one, we're going to take it around the shins. Everybody, bring your feet as wide as your hips, if not wider. So If you have the band on, you want to feel some tension here, and then we'll roll on down. When you get down, if there's a lot of space like I have right now between my butt and my feet, walk your feet in just a little bit so you feel a little more stable. We'll start with crunches first, just really simple crunches, hands behind the head. 30 seconds, belly to spine. Here we go. Just like you're pressing your knees out, not that the knees are opening, but you're pressing the outer legs, I should say, out. You're pressing your belly button down. So you're really finding that sense of abdominal contraction, and that's what's lifting your shoulders and head off the ground. Not any kind of pulling of the head or twerking of the neck. We're going to stay up now, and then little twist to one side, little twist to the other side. We have 10, 9. You're trying to keep your shoulders off the ground as much as you can. 7, 6. Elbows stay wide. 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up. If you still need the neck support, hands here. If not, bring your arms outside of your legs. Lift a little bit higher. Press the belly into the spine. Press the spine into the mat. Lift a little bit higher. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Arms down. Keep the legs this wide. Flex the feet. Lift them up. First thing we'll do, bring the legs down. Heels might touch the ground. They don't have to. And lift up. 2 things we're not doing here. We're not hamstring curling. So this isn't shins down, shins up, shins down, shins up. You're not going to feel much with that. It is also not a rocking of the hips. So we're grounded in the hips. We're moving the thigh bone and the shin bone. 30 seconds. Here we go. And if it is really hard for you to keep your low back down, honestly, it is for me. The hands under the butt in a diamond shape is always a nice way to add a little extra boost there and to feel like you can keep your form throughout the movement. Inhaling heels down, exhaling heels up. Finding those deep abdominal muscles. Your legs are still wide. You're still pushing out to the edges of the band. We have 3, 2, 1. Hold the legs up. Reach the arms up to the ceiling. Point through the feet and then press the legs out and in, out and in. 30 seconds here. So yes, your core is still on because you're keeping the low back down, but now we're starting to focus more on the legs, the glutes, the outer part of the thighs and the hips, those adductors. Press, release, press, release. You're going as far as you can, as far as your band allows you, and then you come back to where you started. Whew. We're going to find some bridge work in 3, 2, 1. Bring the feet down. This time bring the legs pretty close together. So your band might slip a little bit down, hopefully not too much. Arms by the sides. You might want to walk your feet in a little bit. And 30 seconds next is inhale, lift the hips, press the knees out, bring the legs in, come down. We've been doing this a lot the past few weeks. Same principle applies, though. Try not to let your big toe or your inside of the foot come down. Here we go. Up, wide, narrow, down. Up, wide, narrow, down. And if your band is causing you trouble, you may want to slide it up towards the thighs for this one. But sometimes those shins just don't do it, and the band moves around a lot. So insides of the feet down. You're lifting as high as you can in your bridge. So you're getting a stretch for the front body. You're really working the strength in the back body. Last 3, 2, 1. We're going to hold it up here. Knees press out, 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 out. So feet are close together, but knees are pressing as wide as they can with the band. We're trying not to let the booty drop. We're trying to keep that bridge shape. Breath is flowing in, breath is flowing out. You have 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back together. You can walk the feet out to their normal width, hip width apart. Next move, we're going to stay in bridge. We're still up. We're going to lift the heels 2 times and then drop the hips down an inch, up an inch 2 times. So 2 heel raises, 2 hip lowers, and we'll go through that for 30 seconds. So I just dropped my hips, but you should stay up. Lift your hips up. Here we go. Kind of one of those, do what I say, don't do what I do. Heels, heels, hips, hips. And the heels could be big or small. The hips are small, right? We're kind of one step above a pulse. Ooh, really feeling that booty. Maybe also starting to feel those calves. You've got the strength to do this. And let the hips drop. Bring the knees into the chest. Keep the band on. Do what you need to do, though, here to roll out. Maybe your feet started cramping up and you want to move through those ankles. Maybe you just want to straighten the legs out or the body out. Okay, next, coming to our sides. I'm going to roll to my left hip, but you can roll to either side. Again, doesn't matter because we're going to get the work in. Starting with our clamshells, feet can be elevated or not. Again, I moved my band up to my thighs, and I'm just going to keep it here for the next set of moves, but you could have your mini loop band around your shin. Feet are up or down. We're going to lift the top knee up and bring it down. Okay? The band should add a significant amount of resistance to what this normally is without it. We have 30 seconds in that clamshell. Here we go. Your torso, you could be laying all the way down. You could be hand in the head. You could even be up on your bottom elbow. What's staying strong is the core and the hip. So the hips stay stacked even though the knee is opening. So if you have a band that feels pretty heavy, you might not be opening your knees very wide, and that's okay. You're doing as much as you can with the strength of the band. And if you don't have the band, you're probably opening your knees much wider than, say, I am right now. Okay, hold at the top, little presses, just the top knee, up, up, up. Again, as much as you can, working against that band, keeping the core tight. Last 3, 2, 1. Straighten the legs out. Flex or point the feet. And my legs are angled slightly in front of my hips. Top leg comes up behind me. So really squeeze the booty back to center, down, up, behind, back to center, down. And we'll do that for 30 seconds. If you need to adjust your band because it's slipping, adjust that band. And here we go. Sometimes with this, the back movement can feel like, oh my gosh, I'm gonna roll on my back. That's where you want to keep really strong in your bottom side. One trick that can be helpful is to bend the bottom knee. And obviously, you're holding tight in your core. And again, it's more about the glutes here than those adductors. We're going to take this in the opposite direction. So up, forward, back, and down. In 3, 2, 1. Okay, up, forward, back, and down. And this is partly range of motion exercise. So might look really different on different bodies. You may be able to bring your leg all the way in front of, say, your belly button. Some of us may not be able to bring our leg very far forward at all, and that's okay. Again, we're just keeping that good, strong form. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, team, roll onto your belly. Coming into forearm plank, your arms are at 11 o'clock, so no fists here, flat palms. Tuck your toes, lift your hips and knees. We're going to come into a little bit of a yoga flow. So from this forearm plank, we'll drop the hips. You can keep the toes tucked, pull the chest through for Sphinx, and then zip the belly in back for forearm plank. Here we go. Forearm plank to Sphinx. Keeping the core engaged even in the back bend. So Sphinx is kind of one of the simpler back bends, but it might feel pretty intense for you today. Feels pretty intense for me this morning. And just keeping that belly button pulled to the spine, protecting my back. I'm pushing down into my forearms and my hands. We've got 3, 2, stay up in forearm plank. Tap the knees down and up, just 15 seconds. Nothing else in the body moves. We do still have the band on, but we don't actually need it on for this. I just don't want us to take it off before the other side. You've got 3, 2, hold the knees up, stand on your hands into your plank, and then we'll take the legs as wide as the mat, shifting forward and back for 10, 9, 8. Really think about how your core, your legs, and your arms work in concert here. Last 4, 3, 2, 1. Bring the legs back in. Pick your right leg or your left leg, lift it up, tap it down, straight leg back lifts for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Other leg, 10, 9. Again, strong straight legs, strong arms, fire belly. Last 3, 2, 1. Drop to your knees. Take a moment in child's pose. Because we were on the shoulders and hands for a while, you might want to flip the palms up, drop the elbows, or take your arms by your sides for embryo pose. Take a deep breath in. Deep breath out. Okay, lift yourself up. We're going to clamshell on the other side, and then after we get done with that clamshell sequence, we'll come back to the balance at the top of the mat. It's been a minute since we've been there, but I didn't forget about the other side. So lying on down, second side for clamshell, knees bent, feet together. Remember, you can elevate your feet. Feet stay together, top knee lifts. Here we go. And all of this groundwork is really nice stuff to do during shelter in place, but really anytime, let's say you're like watching TV, you're not quite in that I need to lay down on the couch and like completely zone out. Maybe you want to do a little bit of something. Like all of this floor work is really nicely done while watching TV or listening to a podcast or something. Really effective stuff. It doesn't require a ton of equipment. It doesn't require you to really stand up at all. All right, the next time your top knee comes up, little presses. Again, depending on how much resistance your band has, it might not feel like you're moving at all. And yet, you should feel some fire in that top hip, that top glute. Last 3, 2, 1. Okay, go ahead and straighten the legs again. They're angled a little forward. Feet are pointed or flexed. First move is the top lift, push back with a straight leg, come center and down. We have 30 seconds. Here we go. Again, to prevent yourself from rolling back, you want to really think tight core and stacked hips. So if that left hip bone is a little bit behind the bottom one, or I have my left one on top, whatever your top one is, you want to bring it a little more forward so you can counter any kind of rolling back that might be happening. You're pressing back as far as you can. You're giving that butt a big old last 3, 2, 1. Okay, forward, up, forward, center. And remember with this one, your hip flexion, you may or may not be going really far forward, and that's okay. As long as you're keeping the stacking and the control, it's all good. Ooh, we have a little over 10 seconds. This one always gets me. Building that strength. Next time you come back, roll onto your belly. Okay, last thing we'll do on the ground with the loop band. Bring the hands behind the head. Keep the feet on the ground. Top of the feet are down. We'll inhale to lift the chest and the head up, coming into that prone back bend, and exhale, come down. Just watch your feet. It's easier with the feet off the ground, but we're doing the harder version today. So really press your feet down. One check for that is, can you lift your kneecaps? And if you do lift your kneecaps, you know your quads are on, so it's less likely your feet will fly off. All right, 30 seconds. Here we go. Just like everything else, we have different backs, we have different core strengths, we have different strengths in the muscles around the spine. So you're going however high you feel comfortable going, again, without lifting the feet. Elbows stay wide. Fingertips are just barely tapping that head. You are there. In 3, you'll stay up in 2. In 1, hold it up. Reach your arms back. Now reach your feet up. Stay for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Come back to a child's pose. You can either take the band off before or after you child's pose, whatever you prefer. Take a few moments there to let your back come into a stretch, to find some neutral spine. This is another good time to hydrate. All right, team. We're going to come back to that warrior 3 from lunge that we did now like 15, 20 minutes ago. So taking it to your down dog, you'll just step your right leg forward into power lunge. Remember that this can be done as a power lunge with your hands on your block or your hands somewhere else. We're going from this lunge position, all 10 toes forward, to a warrior 3 position, keeping the hips nice and square, okay? Let's go ahead and start in that lunge. Front right knee is bent, and then it will straighten. 30 seconds, here we go. We're pushing down to lift up, and then we're tapping that foot. Again, a lot of this balance work, yes, it's core, yes, it's focus of the eyes, but a lot of it is also the glutes and the adductors, those outer hips. So really feeling like we're building up the strength to work towards some maybe more challenging balances in a moment. We're going to hold warrior 3 in 3, 2, hold it up there. Find a warrior 3. You can take your hands wherever you want. Breathing in, breathing out. And then stepping back, lowering your left knee, interlacing the fingers on that right side, and pushing the hips down and forward as you lift your chest up. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. All right, bring the hands to frame that right foot. Step back into plank. We'll go through some before we do another round of balance. So find your down dog. Let your head rest between your arms. Feel that your legs are on, front and back of the legs, as well as the arms, the shoulders, the core. Inhale forward to plank. Exhale, chaturanga on your knees or on your toes, coming all the way to the belly or flipping over your feet, cobra or up dog. Exhale, we meet in down dog. Again, feel that your whole body is on. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, chaturanga on knees or toes. Take the back bend that feels good to you. And then exhale, down dog. One last time. Inhale, forward. Exhale, halfway. Inhale, back bend. Exhale, down dog. Inhale, right leg lifts. Bend the knee, open the hip. And then exhale, step the right foot forward. Come into high lunge. From here, hands to prayer, tip it forward. Warrior 3 again. And again, the block is there, so use it if you want. Don't if you don't. Tip forward. This time, we're going to come from this warrior 3 to open the left side of the body on top of the right for half moon. And we're going to do that 5 times really slowly. This can get very unstable in the bottom ankle. So 2 suggestions to stabilize more, or really 3. Number 1, flat foot, all 5 of those bottom toes forward the whole time. So even when your left hip opens, your right toes don't turn. Number 2, you can always bend the bottom knee for more stability, and you can keep it bent the whole time. 3, your eyes. So even though your top hip is going to transition to open, you don't have to transition your eyes. You can keep your eyes facing the ground from warrior 3 to half moon, and that is actually one of my favorite tricks to find balance, okay? So with all those tricks, let's just try it. 5 times on this side. We're not going for speed at all. We're going for slow and steady. All right. Warrior 3, find it. Open out half moon. Grounded right foot, maybe bent right knee, maybe eyes on the floor. Come back to warrior 3. Step the left foot back. Take a moment and lunge. Again, tip it forward, warrior 3. Open the left hip on top of the right hip, half moon. Come back to warrior 3. Bend the right knee, step back, high lunge. 3 more. And if you need to go slower than I'm talking, please do. If you want to go faster, just be careful. Two more. It's a lot of work for your standing leg. So if it's feeling fatigued, see if you can, again, slow it down if you need to. Maybe take a quick ankle stretch and then get right back into it. We have just one more rep. One more rep, and we're not going to go directly to the other side. We're going to do something on 2 feet first. When you return to lunge, step your left foot forward, shake it out. That standing right leg, again, maybe there's a lot of pressure in the ankle, in the foot. Maybe that hip needs a stretch and you take your tried and true figure 4. Maybe you just need to move that leg around. Okay, chair pose. This is our next balance. If you have a yoga block, put it between your thighs. If you don't, you could use a pillow, particularly like a throw pillow. Putting it between the thighs, all 10 toes forward, sitting back. Squeezing those inner thighs. We did a lot of outer thigh work. Now I want to bring just a little more focus into those inner thighs. Sit back. Hands can be wherever you want them, belly to spine, and we'll lift those heels up and down for 10, 9. Keep squeezing whatever is between your legs. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2. Heels up or down. Reach your arms forward. Then bend the elbows out wide. Then bring your hands to prayer. One more time. Reach the arms forward. Bend the elbows wide. Bring your hands to prayer. If your heels are up, drop them down. Everybody sit a little bit lower. Stay for 3, 2, 1. Okay, come up. Shake it out. Second side of that lunge to warrior 3 to half moon. Okay, left leg is forward, right leg is back. I'll turn to this side. Find your lunge. Take it to your warrior 3. Left toes are forward. Maybe left knee is bent. Open out half moon. Right side stacks over left. Then re-square warrior 3. Bend the left, step the right foot back. Ooh, this is my hard side. That's 1. Coming forward. And a lot of this work in this class, in fitness in general, and yoga in general, is being patient with yourself, right? Trying. Some days you're really on, you're on fire, things feel good, you're like, I've got this. And then the next day you might try it and be like, ooh, I don't know. So just finding that patience with yourself that you have for other people in your life. We have 2 more. And I know, even though I can't see you right now, I know that you all are doing great. Last one. Ooh. All right, step the back foot forward. Shake it out. Again, that left ankle, hip, knee, give it some love. Okay, final minute here of class. Coming to the top of the mat. I'm going to face you, but you don't necessarily have to face me. We'll take it into our eagle pose. Whatever you feel like is your stronger standing leg, for me it's my right leg, you're going to lift the other leg up, reaching the arms up. That leg that's up, then cross that thigh over the other thigh. You could choose to have that top foot off the ground hanging out, on the ground, stable, or wrapping around the calf. You want to keep the knees as much towards the center as possible, and then bring the arms out to a T. Whatever your top leg is, you'll bring that same arm under the other. So I have my left thigh on top and my left arm on bottom. Your hands can touch, or your hands can find your shoulders. Inhale, lift your elbows. Exhale, sit down. We have 5, 4, squeeze the thighs, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, shake it out. Other side, start with your chair. Other leg, so this time I'm lifting my right leg. I'm sliding that right side over the left. I'm deciding what I'm doing with the foot on the side. It doesn't have to be the same as the other. Bringing my knee center, and again, the same arm as leg goes on bottom. Lift the elbows, sit the hips, and we breathe. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Slowly release, reach up, look up. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Go through one last vinyasa. Stepping it to plank, going through your flow. Always nice to do some salutations. Actually, when the sun is coming up, walk the hands back to the feet. Bend the knees, roll it up. And we'll finish with our tried and true 2 breaths. Bend the knees, inhale, lift the arms up. Exhale, take the arms down. One more time, inhale, breathe it up. Exhale, take it down.